Hey everybody, Dan Holland, the Director of Operations for North America for SoftWashSystems, and I'm here because I want to introduce one of our keynote speakers to all of you. I'm assuming that no one in our network, and certainly no one outside of our network, knows Colene. We're going to get to you in just a minute, but we have a whole entire host of dynamic speakers. We've got Jimmy, the rookie Morris, who's the actual true story behind the Disney movie, The Rookie, coming in to open us up. Colene's going to be there. Brandon Vaughn with Conquer is going to be one of our keynote speakers. We've also got Howard Partridge. We've also got Santiago Arango. These are amazing people to come in to help us to lead well and for our companies to succeed. All right, now, the vision for SoftWashapolooza this year is Vision 2020. Now, Howard told me just recently, he said, you know, you don't really have 2020 vision until after the fact. And I said, well, that's true, but you can always go to the optometrist and get your vision corrected. He's like, well, that's actually a good point. And I said, that's what we're doing in this conference. So Colene Rogers is going to be with us. Colene, thank you for agreeing to come to SoftWashapolooza and being a part of it this year.
I am excited. I look forward to hearing your other speakers. They sound great. And so Dan asked me to share a little bit about myself.
Yes.
So I have been an HR professional for 20 years, and I specialized in acquisition, finding talent, and keeping talent. And that has become a major ordeal for companies because we currently have more jobs than people to fill them. So how do we find the talent in new and creative ways, and how do we keep them? That's what I specialize in. And I love it because I love to help companies succeed. And I love SoftWash because I know the owners and you personally, Dan. So I am super excited about being there this year.
So how long have you been doing this in HR, I guess?
Mm-hmm. So HR 20 years, and but organizational communication is my background in public speaking, but this is my third year going out on my own as a consultant. So instead of just working inside of a company, fixing and finding the talent, now I work with several companies and I go in and help them look at their systems and processes about how they find and talent and retain, because I show them how much it costs every time they lose somebody, and then they're like, wow, we need to pay attention to this. So that's how I get their attention.
We should try to keep our people.
Right.
Yeah, but there's also times, you and I have visited about this, there's also times when you shouldn't keep certain people, and those are not easy lessons to learn. But, so talk to us about what you're going to be teaching. You have a keynote and you've got a class that you're going to be teaching. Talk us through some of that keynote stuff. Just what's the purpose of it? What do you see of value being added to our companies?
Right. So I call the market we're in now the buyer's market, because employees have several offers. So you're not the only one. So what do we do creatively to find talent? It begins with our reputation. I'm not an expert in marketing, but I certainly used all of that to find the talent I needed. So we'll talk about solutions to finding talent, but we'll also talk about the mindset of an employee when they're in a company and when they're looking at a company. And so the whole thing about the authoritative style of leadership, that is not working for our new generation. It doesn't mean they need to be coddled, but it does mean that we need to look at how we're retaining our talent, and how are our leaders communicating, how are we resolving conflict, how are we building teams, looking at all of that structure to retain the talent. They do want a mentor. Our new generation want a mentor. So our roles are changing somewhat, not in a negative way, but a positive way.
That's really interesting, because the one thing that I have heard over my tenure at SoftWashSystems has been, where do you find quality employees? And what you're telling me is they are out there. The question is, how do I go find them if they're out there? And what is their mindset? But then once I have them and I have their attention, how do I keep them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're valuable. And so because it costs more to find them, and if you can keep them by simple processes, I call them retention talks. I'm going to talk about those solutions. What is an employee mindset? And so that's important to us. So that's the keynote.
Okay.
The breakout that we're going to do, I'm a certified conflict resolution specialist. And the reason I did that is because when I go into corporations and I work in organizations, their issue usually is somebody's not getting along. And so that is hurting the whole company, obviously, and it starts at the top, and when the top's not getting along. So how do we resolve our conflict where people still feel valued? And we're not taught conflict resolution. It comes easier to some of us than others. So what is a structure? What is a formula? I call them tools for tough talks that I can give people that they can go back and have the conversation that they're not having in the workplace and in their personal life.
I think I might need that.
No, you're great at it.
So you're telling me I should be less directive and authoritative.
Yes, less of that.
No.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I can see already that there's going to be a huge value added for our people. One of the things we've also built into our conference are times where questions can be asked of panels. We've created a time where there's going to be a panel of people to ask, where we can ask questions pertaining to HR, or maybe there's specific questions of a specific incident that I'm having to deal with or person. And we're creating an opportunity for people to be able to address those problems, to find solutions for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That'll be fun.
any parting words here? We're excited about you coming. And after talking to you, I decided to invite you because particularly this idea of sometimes the hard conversations that we need to have that can turn out really well for our employees, but we have to have them and we need the tools to be able to have them. That's actually what intrigued me about your skill set.
Yeah, I found that it's helped me a lot in my personal life and in my company having conversations. It's not just with your employees, but it's also with your vendors and your customers. Those conversations are difficult, so it helps all the way around.
Yes, it does. Okay, any parting words, Colene?
No, I look forward to it. I'm going to be there for a couple days, and I get to interact. And I want to ask any of your folks if they want to have a conversation with me. Just pull me aside. I want to be helpful to them in any way I can. And if I don't know, I will find out. So,
perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you again in January of 2020. So everybody, get your tickets. They're online. We've decided to hold the price to $699 for the 3 days. When you consider the value that you're getting, then you realize how little the cost is. But go ahead and get your tickets now. I'm limiting them to the first 130 people. And so we're excited. Colene, great to meet you. Thanks for taking time to interview.
Yeah. See you soon.
Okay. Talk to you later.